shot. Wasn't good enough.
At that moment, if I laid odds.
That's right.
Okay. Did she land?
Uh-uh.
You know, how does she win
Who
this
won
thing?
this tournament?
Yeah.
Gotta be kidding.
Wouldn't you take your jacket off at that point? Try to win a golf tournament. You know you're not going to be chilly.
She didn't iron the shirt that morning.
I would not want the jacket on.
We said her name all year was that one shot at 14 she pulled out.
I'm going to wear a sequin shirt tomorrow for you, Judy. You'll be freaking out. My dream.
You travel with those?
And I'm coming in those red sandals that were a size too small.
Clicking your heels going back to Kansas. No, I don't have one of those, but I certainly know enough figure skaters who do that I can make a call in.
I swear to you, I have no idea where that came from. This shirt had like it had like sequins on all the cuffs. It was really obnoxious. And I was trying in the nicest way to tell you, I don't really think you should wear that, Terry.
Well, I'm telling you, I feel protected. You're looking out for me.
And so then you pulled this other one out, but it was wrinkled, and I said, well, I'll iron it. And I got to iron it, and I thought, this is pretty goofy looking for him. And finally I saw a size in the back, and I thought, he brought his wife's shirt. It's too weird.
Did you have an Ambien or anything?
No,
before you went to
nothing.
bed,
No,
or?
I watched Grey's Anatomy, which I've been trying to watch for 3 or 4 weeks. The first time I got to see it. It was pretty funny. It was kind of humorous last night. And I don't watch that next show. I never did watch it. I don't watch anything that has to do with bad airplane stories. Yeah.
Oh, no, I love Lost, but I'm behind. I'm way behind. So don't tell me.
I didn't watch it.
Well, anyone out there in TV land of our truck.
Yeah.
I did see a cute this is totally non-political on my part, but I did see a really cute John McCain ad this morning. He's done an ad with his mother, who's 96. And honest to goodness, she could pass for his age.
I know. 95.
It's a very cute ad for Mother's Day.
Is it?
Yeah. In fact, one of those commentators said, well, he just better pretend it's Mother's Day all the way to November and just keep playing that one.
It's a political ad for him and his
Well, it's kind of, you know, he makes a little joke and says, I approve this message. And she said, so do I.
Yeah. This was unbelievable the way she did this. I mean, think about this. This should be a birdie.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about right here, I'm sure.
Hell, a par and a win, or a tie. Okay. Wow. Watch her. Watch her. Oh, I can't watch this. That's every 2.5 footer that you have.
First of all, how can you hit a 10-footer 2.5 feet
you
by?
just knock it, you know, you walk up, knock it one-handed, and go up. That was just, you know, I was just knocking it in. That was a gimme. She was trying to win it with that birdie.
Just going like, what in the world happened here?
Oh, she did miss it.
Scott Hoke.
The victory that started the run for Suzanne Pedersen last year. She'd win 5 times and capture a major championship. And for Ji Young Lee, what a way to lose a golf tournament. You still feel for her.
Yeah, more than disappointing, because she really did give her chance away.
Guys, meanwhile, players headed back out to the course, so they've called them back. 4 o'clock Eastern time, just about 4 minutes from now, they'll resume play. We're going to stay with it too. That final group, or the highlighted group, Ochoa, Sorensen, Pedersen, finishing up at 18, their 9th hole, and we'll follow them at least through a hole or 2 on the front side.
ESPN's presentation of the Michelob Ultra Open at Kingsmill. Brought to you by Michelob Ultra. Live life to the ultra. And in part by Choice Hotels, official hotel partner of the LPGA. Visit choicehotels.com/LPGA. And Prudential. Let Prudential be your rock for retirement.
on that.
Two players have already qualified for the ADT Championship at the end of the year, where $1 million is on the line for first place. They are Lorena Ochoa and Annika Sorenstam. Imagine that, guys. Lorena with her win at the HSBC, and then Kraft Nabisco, and Paula Creamer heading the list of those who are still trying to make it there. 32 players, 15 from the first half, 15 from the second, 2 wild cards. And this is a winner event, as we said. It's got a purse of at least $2 million. And so if you win here, you automatically qualify for the ADT Championship. All right, so the weather having passed through, the wind has died down, and the rain has stopped. So they're heading back out there, and we'll resume play in just a moment. We'll stay with these couple of groups as they make the turn, go over our allotted time. And Andy and Judy, you try to make the most of your time when you come back out from the rain delay, weather delay?
Well, you have to get mentally prepared. You know, they probably didn't hit a lot of balls because they've only stopped for a few minutes. But the fact is, you've got to get back into this mentally. And to have a putt like Lorena's going to have at the 18th hole, where it's going to be about a 40-footer up over a little ridge, that's a very difficult putt to come out and hit for your first putt.
Projected cut at even par right now. And Judy, the amount of rain that we had, it wasn't just the rain that halted play. We had severe weather in the area. But with the rain, how much will that have affected the course?
You know, I think this course drains pretty well. There's been some heavy showers periodically through the night and this morning, so I think the course drains very well. But immediately, players will feel the course being a little slower, and certainly the greens being a little bit slower.
Annika playing with Lorena Ochoa and Suzanne Pedersen, who we just saw a moment ago win the 2007 version. And take a look at some of the highlights today. Early on, as we came on the air, Ochoa at the 10th for birdie.
And 10, her first hole of the day.
Sorenstam for birdie at 12 yesterday. Great round for Annika, 65. Remember the 63 from Barry Mackay yesterday, tying the course record. And then Ochoa at 16, Andy.
This is a beautiful second shot. Second shot plays dramatically downhill. Just a good solid 9-iron. Not a breath of air blowing at this moment. Throws it right at the hole. Soft conditions. Almost knocks it in.
Took the week off after winning 4 in a row. So trying to win her 6th event overall here in 08. Sorenstam, who's won twice this year at 16. Right in the heart of the cup.
And this is going to sound funny for the second best player in the world, but it seems like her confidence has been growing over the last 2 or 3 weeks. She looks like she's got a lot of speed in her golf swing, and she's got a lot of confidence on the greens.
And some distance coming back now, Judy.
And I think that's what I said earlier. I think she was finding her way a little bit at the beginning of the year, even though she won immediately at the beginning of the year. We have documented that Lorena was not in that field. But I just think Annika's been getting a little bit better and a little bit better as the year has gone on. She was very sick at the Kraft Nabisco, the first major championship of the year, and she still almost gave Lorena a little run down the line at the final round on Sunday.
And you look at her card, and we saw Lorena's card. Neither one of them, and remember this is their opening 9, the back 9, neither one was able to birdie the par 5. 15. Pedersen did.
And Lorena's wonderful round of 65 yesterday included playing the par 5s, 4 under par, 3 par 5s on this golf course.
A little over 6,300 yards the distance, so it's not an extremely long course. It is made longer with the rain, but mostly it's made it easier, as the point you made, Andy, It's just tough if you're not playing in the fairway.
Yeah, there's a lot of rough on this golf course, so you have to put the ball in the fairway, but when it gets softer, that makes the fairways play much wider than normal because the ball's not going to run out very much. So you just throw it out in the fairway and get a decent line, knock it up on the green, and give yourself a good birdie opportunity.
If you're going to win here, you better bring your best game, because the champs here have been major winners. Grace Park at 9 under back in 03, and that really the highlight in the last couple of years. Not much going on. Sayri Pak not here this week. She wasn't playing last week.
And when she won here, she played her way into the Hall of Fame.
Christy Kerr. And then it was Kari Webb going 14 under. She won by 7, ran away from the field in 06.
And Christy Kerr, like Suzanne Pedersen last year, when each of these players won here, it was career changing. It changed them.
Pedersen went on to win the McDonald's LPGA. Still waiting for the horn to signal the tee shots to be played. But as I look outside, and there's the man who will do it, it's getting darker.
Well, some players, you have to remember, had to go way out on the golf course. We last saw Vari Mackay on the 12th green, which is a good ways out. So they are waiting for every player to be in position before they blow the horn.
You see out to the James River, very calm right now. The wind not blowing nearly as much as it was earlier this afternoon. But the clouds...
It has gotten darker.
Hey, hasn't it? Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, they're going to try to get as much golf in as they possibly can. They may be in and out a couple more times. You don't know. It makes it a very tough day for the players.
And one eye, right?
I doubt seriously that any of these players went to hit a few shots at the practice tee. It's not real convenient to this 18th hole, and I don't think that much time elapsed. More than likely it was a quick stop and a little bite to eat, and you're back.
It has gotten a little bit cooler. Lorraine to put her rain pants on. Annika was putting her jacket on, I believe.
For many of these groups, and it's certainly this one, there's a lot of play left today here in the second round. That's they're not just trying to finish up a couple of holes. This group just making the turn. Remember Vari Mackay we were watching, just getting her day underway.
She has 16 holes yet, so there's a very good chance that if there's any more problems, there'll be some players that'll have to come back and finish their rounds tomorrow morning.
And I tell you, from a player's perspective, that is really hard to do. They will make every effort to finish tonight, but it's sure going to be close.
There's Michelle Wee and her group. 2 bogeys, 2 birdies for Wee, and the cut line at even par. Still with a chance, though, just making the turn. So if she can make up the 4 shots, we'll see where the cut line goes with the conditions, but still can play over the week. And we talked to her coming in about being a Stanford student.
I've never had to study so much in my entire life, but you know, the professors were awesome, TAs were awesome, and I lived in a freshman dorm, so I had a great roommate, I had great dorm mates, so it was a lot of fun. I learned a lot from, you know, just from my people that I lived with, and basically learning how to live on my own. I had to do my laundry, I had to find food on my own and survive. So it was good. I practiced a lot, I got a lot of things done, and you know, I felt like I grew up.
I do remember those days, being away from home for the first time.
I think it sounds like she has left Stanford. That's not true, at least by what I know, but she has taken this last quarter off, away to work on her golf game and get ready for the summer. I do not know what is on tap for the fall, but she certainly has not said that she has finished going to college.
All right, so you can hear and see the horn being blown. Some waves. And here we go. So keep it right here at 18, and this group finishing up its opening 9, Ochoa, Sorenstam, and Suzanne Pedersen. But to think back to last year, Andy, and we just saw it. After the approaches, the third playoff hole, the fact that Suzanne Pedersen actually won, you shake your head.
You get down into a playoff, the last couple of holes of a championship, and your nerves have some funny things that will happen. And you know, this is the type of putt. This is going to be a very difficult putt for the first stroke of the afternoon for Ochoa after coming back out.
It is for birdie.
putt up over a ridge on your very first stroke.
Right now, nothing's hard for Lorena.
You know, it's the point I was making about the 3 caddies in this group earlier, is that situation whether you're going to try to putt real quick or you're not going to. You know, the really good caddy encourages you and really helps you to make a good choice.
Yeah, I think she thought for a moment that might turn in. Good par for Lorena as the rain starts to come down again. Here's Suzanne Pedersen.
Starting to look really dark out here again, guys. Pedersen's putt uphill, a little bit right to left early, and then straightening out, if not breaking back to the right.
Good read, Jane.
Another good effort.
We'll give Jane a little nod here. She was quite the putter her playing days. Very good short game and wonderful green reader.
Well, thank you, Judy. That was very kind of you. I'd like to have had the length of some of these players that I'm watching today. I might still be playing.
Wouldn't we, though?
Wouldn't we? But you can't have everything.
That's Ornstam eyeing her birdie attempt.
And Judy, you would have to think that Annika has a really good chance of making this after seeing Pedersen's putt go past the hole. Very, very similar line. The rain's starting to come down a little bit heavier again. Annika just looks so confident right now. I've been very impressed with her demeanor out here on the golf course today.
Yeah, she is very pleasant to cross paths with, have a conversation with right now, and she is happy and playing well.
A little bit on the green from the other two. Third birdie on the front side, so 3 under 32 going out. Sorenstam with a 1-shot lead.
10 birdies and 0 bogeys through the first 27 holes.
Well, not a bad time to do it, too. You get that birdie, and who knows what the weather is going to do. It's starting to come down even harder right now as Pedersen looks at her par putt.
Just because it's raining doesn't mean they're going to stop. There has to be some electricity and some danger out there. As long as the greens don't hold water, they can play a long time in this rain.
All right, good putt. But the problem is, as you know, there have been storms popping up all over the region, as they can do during the summer months. And what the radar may say coming in may not be what actually ends up happening. And the storms popping up out over the James. So Sorenstam to 10 under here on day 2. A little further bonus coverage for you when we come back to the Michelob Ultra Open at Kingsmill. More rain here at Michelob Ultra Open, the Michelob Ultra Open at Kings Mill. But they are playing. And as you said, Andy, if there's no lightning in the area, nothing hazardous, nothing threatening, they will keep playing. But it is heavy right now. Paula Creamer and her group finishing up the front side at 18. Creamer, Kari Webb, Christy Kerr. Great work the last couple of weeks for Paula Creamer. A couple of playoffs, a win last week. Judy, for her own psyche, her own mental makeup, how important was that win in Tulsa?
I think it was very important. The week before, if you haven't been watching, she lost in a playoff to Annika Sorenstam in Miami. She went to Tulsa and started right out playing great and leading the golf tournament. Took it down to the wire in a playoff with Julie Inkster. Played 2 wonderful shots on 2 playoff holes, but on the second playoff hole, she managed to convert for the birdie and win.
Well, 18 playing really long right now. This from 183. Let's head over towards the front right portion of this green. It's a good little hop. Not a bad play from that far back.
Not far from where we saw Lorena Ochoa play. The last group that went through. Just 21 years of age, Paula Creamer, and take a look at this list, Judy. Creamer with 6, Nancy Lopez 9. We talked to her coming in about all the experience she's gained already as a 21-year-old.
Since I've been on tour, I've matured so much. You kind of have to. I'm playing against the best players in the world, and you have to be emotionally strong and you have to be emotionally sturdy out here, or else they'll just eat you alive. And that's something that I've learned. And I've always been mentally tough, but it's really the last 2 weeks has definitely given me my respect for myself, knowing that I can do this and I can play with the best players in the world.
Charlie Reimer staying dry. Paula Creamer getting wet out here in the rain.
But the grip on the putter staying dry.
That's right. No, but the last 2 weeks, you think about it, and to go to playoffs with names like that, with Hall of Famers, Sorenstam, Julie Inkster, and then to make up for what happened the week before, that's very important.
And it was her she did win a playoff a couple of years ago in Japan, but it was her very first playoff experience here in the U.S. So.
Lee for birdie at 17 through the leaves.
Another player that has had a lot of experiences already, but some of them aren't the ones she has hoped for. But she sure is talented, and she has a lot of golf ahead of her.
Well, people are all over the map with what's going to go on with Michelle. Some write her off, some do not. I think she's so young that we're still going to see some great golf.
So instead, making the turn.
Heavy rain, the left to right wind. Good solid tee shot. That's going to be fine.
How about Sorenstam and Ochoa, 268, their driving distances so far this week, Judy?
And what's very interesting about that is you have to drive it straight here, because when players are driving it into the rough, we're hearing a lot of noise about I just had to pitch out. So accuracy is really at a premium this week.
She plays without a glove. Here comes the rain. Ochoa's tee shot.
And it really is coming down very heavy. This one's starting down the middle. It's going to be bouncing to the right off that big slope in the middle of the fairway.
Judy, have you seen her put a glove on at any time in the conditions?
I cannot remember seeing Lorena play in a glove.
And here comes Suzanne Pedersen.
Driven the ball very, very solidly so far today. This really hasn't been able to get anything going on the greens. And certainly stopping and starting, it's not really going to help her touch. Left to right breeze. No, lost that one.
There it is.
I see it down the right now, Terry. Yes, lost it in the rain.
Check this shot out. That's great. Ultra Mo, Andy, they're calling it this week.
She takes the club outside as it gets started. It's this great extension in her golf swing. A little bit across the line at the top. And then she gets it all back down where she wants it. Head has that unusual move. The whole key is getting the club face square when you come back and hit the golf ball. It doesn't matter where it is, any other part of the golf swing.
Now, if you just tune in at that point, you'd figure it's snowing in Virginia today.
Isn't that a great look?
Mm-hmm. Here's Christy Kerr's third at 18.
Well, Terry, she drove it way to the right here, caught a horrible lie in the rough, and actually hit a good second just to get it to this point. Now this from right at 70 yards.
Really a tough shot because it's going to be hard to bounce it up the slope. She's going to have to carry it all the way to the hole.
Now this is very high, a little left and a little short. I don't think Christy would be very pleased with that effort.
She's making some putts. Maybe she can roll in a 30-footer up the hill for par. Let's go to Vari Mackay at the 13th. It's just a moment ago. It's coming down right now. Safely on. She'll have a putt in the 35-foot range for birdie.
140 yards, a little breeze at her back, but we saw a lot of 8-irons in there earlier. Probably a 7-iron in those conditions.
What a difference. That part of the golf course to this part near the clubhouse at 18, and right on the other side of the clubhouse we saw a moment ago, it was really raining as Ochoa and Sorenstam Pedersen teed off. So it comes and goes right now, as does the wind, which is really making it difficult.
It's just annoying playing under these kind of conditions. The players, you get wet, your caddy's trying to keep clubs dry, and you're jumping in and out from underneath the umbrella. You just lose all that, your normal routines and rhythms that you have while you're playing.
Well, but you know, people get rattled kind of easily in these kind of conditions, and if you're one that does not, if you can keep your wits about you and keep your concentration, you can make hay while the sun is not shining.
If you're Vari Mackay and you're from Scotland, guess what? She's played in these conditions a couple of times.
You might have a little edge.
Although today, she is 1 over par. Now here's the birdie opportunity for Creamer, but a lengthy one.
Yeah, there's nothing easy putt, guys. I think it's got some left in it in the middle, and then the last part of this putt should be fairly straight. Might even tweak a little to her right at the end.
Pretty good putt, but the mental image for her on 2-footers, 2.5-footers from last week.
Through 2 weeks of very good play, we still saw Paula Creamer miss, I guess, 3 or 4 very short putts over 2 weeks' time, but
which is amazing because she lost in a playoff and then wins a golf tournament. But you go back to Miami, the Stanford International Pro-Am, this to extend that playoff and leaves it right in the heart, but short. So she would lose to Sorenstam. Then last week, Judy.
Well, these are the 2 very short putts. That was at the 7th hole. It was a second putt, so it resulted in a 3-putt. This was a second putt at the par 3 13th. Then had to work to make the third one, so not simple to miss putts inside of 3 and 4 feet and win golf tournaments.
And she was joking about her putter yesterday, having had a conversation with it last week. Here's Kerr for par. You can joke coming off a victory about your putting woes.
The sense of humor is just a lot keener after a victory, let me tell you.
If she would have lost that playoff to Julie Inkster, she wouldn't have been joking. All right, second shot here at the first for Ochoa.
According to Sky Caddy, 131 to the front. Hole is located on 18. Into a very strong wind. This is a 6-iron.
What a season it's been. After You could say the same about 2007. That's why in such a short period of time, she has already earned enough points to make it to the Hall of Fame. 5 wins in 7 events over $1.5 million.
In the 2 weeks she hasn't won, she's finished 5th and 8th. So she's literally been had a chance every single time she's played.
You just count on the top 10. I mean, that's not even a doubt. Sorenstam second.
Annika from 148. Good looking shot.
Now we've documented how long these 3 players hit the ball. We've documented what they are doing it with. Of these 3, Annika Sorenstam is the most accurate off the tee.
Here's a look at how she moves her lower body. She tries to restrict her hip turn. Then basically before she even gets the club all the way to the top, the hips start turning through the ball. She has worked very hard in the gym as well as on the golf course. She has great strength.
And a really pretty look there at how her body and her arms and the club stay connected and together.
Making the turn now at 18. Creamer would like to do it with a par.
Well, she's made 8 of them so far in this second round, Terry. You know, I just think it's a testament to her talent that we can, you know, look at the last 2 weeks and see in a playoff loss and a win that she didn't play her best golf.
Yeah,
it's pretty nice place to be.
When you can win and point to a number of different things what you could do better, that's a positive.
Absolutely. Now this is just right center.
I think coming back the way she did at Tulsa after the disappointment that took her to tears in the press room in Miami showed a great deal of resilience and showed me a lot about a very young player.
On your 4th straight week, she's going to take next week off, and she said, yeah, I'm kind of exhausted right now.
Barry McCarry with her birdie putt at 13. Coming down the hill, should break a little bit from her left to right. Greens are going to be a little bit slower now than they were earlier in the day. Ball's just not rolling out the last 5 or 6 feet.
Suzanne Pedersen just off the green. 3rd shot at number 1.
From 142 yards.
So that 142-yard shot must not have been a good one, Jane, because you look at this position here, and Judy, normally we don't see that from her, and the weather's gotten better. The rain is not nearly as heavy as it was.
Edison really missed that shot. Now she's got this little chip up through this valley. Beautifully done. Good recovery.
Well, once again, it was a pull, and her old tendency was to pull or come over the top. And she used to play a fairly big cut because of that kind of motion, but haven't seen a whole lot of that mistake from her in the last year.
Don't forget the NBA playoffs coming your way. Big night again tonight. The Lakers taking on the Jazz, and the Lakes up 2-0 in that series, led by the MVP, Kobe Bryant. It's at 9 o'clock on ESPN in HD. Blue sky up above, little break in the clouds over the James River. Nice to see that. Could have used that all afternoon.
Those people at the end of the field would be very happy to see the sun and have it not set until the last minute tonight.
Just to be able to finish, you're right.
Let's take a look at this little pitch in the super slow-mo. Takes the club back in one piece. Shoulder turn very nicely. Let's see, there's a lot of water around the ball. Let's see what happens. Yes, that's why after you come out after the rain, it's hard to control the distance in a lot of your approach shots.
Look at the club face, Andy, how she has not allowed it to turn over, and that's how she threw the ball so high and softly into the air.
All right, Lorena with her putt for birdie. And the green's slowing up indeed. Not in yet.
You kind of have to wait for the field to come to you. You can't all of a sudden try to get the ball to the hole. That doesn't usually pay dividends.
Wayward drive for Michelle. We at 18, playing from the rough, playing it very nicely.
What a a wonderful play. Look at this. Oh, yes. But I think that's the key. She's coming from the rough. As soon as she starts putting the ball in the fairway more often, she's going to eliminate a lot of the bogeys that she's making. What a great play there.
How good was that?
She's been working very hard. I still think she's doing a lot of thinking about how to swing the club. One of these days she's going to go out there and just play again and recover her form.
4 over right now. Projected cut at even par, but she is just playing her opening 9. Plenty of time left to make a run. Here's Annika for birdie at the first.
Boy, that caught a lot of the hole. She is definitely rolling it well right now. She's got it on the line she wants.
She lifted one out at 18 yesterday and could have had a 63 along with Mari McCobb, but playing better than anyone right now. Almost a 2-shot lead. 10 under. Sorenstam playing the first.
I ate, drank, and played golf. I did everything, and I just need that boost of confidence. And I feel like once I get that, then it's a done deal. I feel like just gotta get back into the playing rhythm and just have fun out there again. Just have fun out there again.
Yeah.
You want me to say something after you lead to it?
Look at the blue sky breaking through right now. Andy North, it's going to be absolutely gorgeous tonight.
Let's hope so.
So we continue our bonus coverage as we're in the second round of the Michelob Ultra Open at Kingsmill, and the weather delay taking us up to 4 o'clock, and they resume play shortly after that. Anna D'Alessio at 18, her second here at the par 4. Make that her third, getting it close. Remember Michelle Wee, that's the ball on the left of your screen right there. Brilliant out of the rough. So a chance for a birdie for Wee. Sorenstam at 10 under, your leader by 1. Mari Mackay had the lead after day 1. Second shot, bit of trouble here at 14.
Coming out of the rough, wet rough, it's going to be very difficult to get the ball all the way there. Not a bad play, still has an opportunity to save par.
Meanwhile at 18, Michelle Wee going to mark her ball and a chance for birdie to get it to 3 over. We talked to her about how she spent her time recently, spent in Florida, really working on her game.
I ate, drank, and played golf. I did everything, and I just need that boost of confidence. And I feel like once I get that, then it's a done deal. I feel like just gotta get back into the playing rhythm and just have fun out there again.
3 fairways hit and 8 of 14 in the front. And now, you said it, that's the key, and you can't play from the rough.
Absolutely, and we've seen Tiger and all great players go through this at some time or another, and you learn when to hit driver, when not to hit driver. We've seen Tiger over the years. Remember the British Open a couple of years ago, hit 1 driver. If you have length, the secret of having length is understanding how to use it. There's a lot of holes. I truly believe she could hit 3 woods. you know, some kind of iron, you know, longer iron, just to get the thing in play. If she's got a 7-iron, that's fine. But she has to put the ball in the fairway, and she does that, she'll be very successful.
When you have been front page news, when you have been one of the main stories in the game at such a tender age, to come out and go through what she's gone through, how difficult is it going to be, Judy, for her to come back? And, you know, when you're 13 and you're doing what she was doing and then playing with Ernie Els and playing with the guys and almost making the cut on the men's tour, now to come back, what's it going to take?
I think it's going to take a lot, but I still do not write her off because she is so young and she is so very talented. She was one of the finest teenage players anyone had ever seen, and I really think she will get back to that form. I think her game has gotten far too mechanical. She had a natural, beautiful golf swing when she was 13, 14, 15 years old. And I think because she is so teachable and so talented, in an effort for perfection, it has become too mechanical. I almost wish you could put earmuffs on and say, think of nothing, just go play golf for 6 months.
Interesting. Because the more she works on her game right now, the more mechanical it's going to become.
I think so.
Now over to the second, 177-yard par 3, Sorensen.
Into a stiff northerly wind right now. This is a 4-iron for Annika. Hole is in the middle right portion of this green. 21 on.
Just running it over the back left corner. Plenty of green to work with. That shouldn't be that difficult to get it up and in.
And guys, I really think this cold front has come through now, and it's looking a lot clearer to the north here.
Kiss of death, Jane.
Nah. Now Lorena also with a little 4-iron.
Always sets up with her iron play just ever so slightly open.
Ideal to bring it in a little bit from left to right. This one just left of the flag. Nicely done.
Here are 2008 LPGA winners. When one player's won 5, there's not a lot of them out there when you've only played 10. But those are our 4 winners so far this year.
4 winners, 10 starts.
And one of those playing the first, Paula Creamer. Backing up just off the green.
Pedersen with her tee shot at the par 3 second.
And also with the 4-iron. This one headed just a little bit left.
Well, I talked earlier about these being 3 great athletes. Suzann Pettersson might have been a professional skier. Annika Sorenstam, until she was about 14, really thought she might play tennis. She was that good. And I think Lorena can do almost anything.
Michelle Wee, pretty talented herself, for birdie at 18. Good. So to make the turn at 3 over par, trying to get to that cut line of even par right now. And as the sun shines, if you're just tuning in, it's been a difficult day, and I do want to thank all of our engineers here and all the people scrambling to keep it all together, because it wasn't easy when those storms came through. So thanks, guys. Barney Mackay earlier, 3rd shot at 14.
Little chip and run, get it on the ground, let it roll like a putt as early as possible. She's still, I think, officially a newlywed. Got married in November of last year. Married American Dave Smith.
Who is?
I knew you were going to ask me that. Dave Smith is a rocket scientist.
Yeah, I love that. You know, you want to say, yeah, but what does he do for a living? I know he's smart.
He's a rocket scientist.
Yeah. All right, now
Truly is.
Safe par.
So far this year, she's made 4 cuts out of 7 starts. Her best is a T38 earlier in the year. So this is a big week for her. She's playing well, and maybe she can finish it off in style.
Smart person in her own right, a graduate from Stanford University.
Now up around the second green, Annika will have her little pitch.
Tricky little pitch it is, Andy. She's got to come up quite a steep ridge. There's a little bit of upslope to it, and it flattens out to a plateau about 8 feet before the hole. So with all this rain, I think a little difficult shot.
Is she going to try to lob it all the way up into that plateau, or she'll take a little lower one that maybe checks going up that ridge?
Well, I think that's what she will do, Andy, is pitch it into the ridge. But actually, Suzanne Pedersen is away, and Suzanne is going to putt, I believe. She's about 60 feet away. And a very difficult putt to judge the speed. More often than not, Judy, the players let the person that's missed the green and chipping come on, but evidently Suzanne wanted to go ahead and putt.
Maybe she has a feeling.
She might. I think she's feeling it. And Judy, I'm wondering, how Suzanne feels about this new putter. She just does not look very confident to me with this putter. How do you view her stroke at the moment?
Well, she has not. She certainly hasn't looked bad putting. As you said much earlier, the look of the putter dramatically different than the one she had. There are so many putters that have a lot of science behind them on the market today and that are used very well, but they are very big. A lot going on, and a very big-headed putter to help you with all kinds of weights and alignment and so on. So this is much more traditional looking.
This putt uphill all the way. Now that's pretty well judged for speed from there. I guess she was feeling it.
Come over towards the near lane. Put a signal here.
Of course, the simple reason to let someone come up who is not on the green but closer to the hole is usually they leave the flagstick in.
Flagstick in at the first for Creamer's third.
Yeah, that was a tough-looking putt from that portion of the green. Big swing to the right.
Let's go back to Annika at the second. And this will be our last hole. You've enjoyed bringing this bonus coverage. Nice to see the sun out.
Annika commented about playing with Suzanne and Lorena yesterday, and she said they're nice and we're friends and I like them and they play fast.
The other thing about the sun being out, guys, tonight, traditionally, and they're going to have it again, is players have a big get-together over at Busch Gardens. They have the entire park. You have gone many a time to ride the roller coaster.
Oh, yes, that's where you'll find me, for sure. All the families have fun.
Yep, tomorrow we're back with you, 2 o'clock Eastern time. With the Michelob Ultra Open, Kings Mill. Great site. Patterson trying to make sure she's here for the weekend.
No, show with her birdie.
Look like a whole lot in this putt. She can be firm uphill.
It's amazing how quickly a player knows that they've made the putt. She knew that one and started walking when it was 5 or 6
Chased it right
feet
into the
short.
hole.
Think about the 2 putts she's had since coming back out after the weather delay.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Hey, wait a minute. Now, there is a gallery restriction here at the first.
They're young, children get in free.
They don't understand. You're right. All right, Caddy doing his job as we check out our State Farm Insurance shot of the day. Ochoa at 16, James River in the background. Almost, guys, almost holding it up.
A 9-iron dead on.
139 yards. 9-iron. And the great putt a moment ago could have been the shot of the day, but we chose that one. So, Sorenstam, though, your leader, this to remain at 10 under. She's
used that left hand low style for quite a few years now. Really keeps her shoulders level.
I know. Ochoa just won. How good is this going to be, huh? You look ahead to the weekend today. They make the cut, even par right now. We'll see if we can make the putt on the back nine. She's got 9 holes straight ahead. But your top two players in the world: Sorenstam, Ochoa, Zhang Jiang, who's won a major, won the British Open a few years ago at Birkdale, and she's in the mix. And then Vari Mackay is still playing.
Well, you've got the best players in golf playing a great golf course that they like to come to. You're going to have some great play because of that.
How'd you like to see Annika and Lorena play together tomorrow?
I'd like it just fine, and I bet there are a lot of fans out there that would love to see them come down the stretch head-to-head.
Julie Inkster off her great showing last week, almost winning in Tulsa. Currently at 4 under is the Hall of Famer. Christy Kerr had the putter working there for a while. 3 straight birdies, guys. So through 9, she's at 3 under. But Sorenstam at 10 under. And either way, back and forth. I mean, it was fun to watch today. We were interrupted because of the weather. But to watch those two right now at the top of their games, and I think Annika approaching the top once again. She's if not all the way back with her distance, she's even driving it right there with Lorena.
You know, she probably was at a point in her career before the injury where she needed a challenge. She's got a good one now, and it's a lot of fun.
It's a good way of looking at it. Sometimes you get to the top. Don't forget, tomorrow and Sunday, 2 o'clock Eastern.
And anytime a player's coming off an injury, it takes a while to get back into game shape. Even though she's played 8 or 10 terms, you can see her confidence is so much more than we saw maybe at Nabisco earlier in the year.
And don't discount the fact that she's a competitor. I mean, always being asked the question this year, do you have to beat Ochoa to be all the way back? Here she is, not only in the same field, but in the same group today.
I would never discount the fact that she's a competitor.
All right, that blue sky, that's what we're going to order for tomorrow, okay? So let's register that. Get that 3rd round in. We do expect pretty good weather tomorrow afternoon, then maybe a little dicey on Sunday. All right, I'll stop talking. Sorenstam at 10 under here. In the 2nd round, a lot of golf yet to be played. Coming off that 64 yesterday. Ochoa right behind at 9 under, along with Zhang Jiang. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. No more severe weather, okay? See you.